gets on the bench in an attempt to do that teaching. Surrey bombs one home!
A win over Pacific Division leader San Jose completed a sweep of the Ducks' 3-game homestand. Now the team will hit the road for a 12-day, 6-game road trip. We checked in with the players and the experts to get the inside scoop from the locker room and to get an update on the playing status of Cam Fowler.
The Ducks are off to a terrific 6-1-1 start. And Dan, what are the things that have stood out in your mind over these first 8 games in terms of how they've been successful?
Well, Eric, really 2 things, I think. Number one, their ability to stick with the system pretty much regardless of what's happened in games, with the one exception being the game against Vancouver here. Other than that, they've really played, for the most part, the way they want to play. They haven't gotten caught up in too much emotion like the game against the Kings the other night. They were able to maintain their composure under some difficult circumstances. So I think that, number one. Number two, the resolve that they've shown. Their ability to come from behind, their ability to deal with things when they don't go well. And they've trailed for long stretches like they did last night against San Jose. Stuck with it, maintained that resolve, and got a big break on the Saku Koivu goal. And then when the game was up for grabs, they found a way to win it.
Here's that one of the things that have really jumped out is that they've been able to play very well in third periods. And what do you think that's attributed to?
Well, I know the coaching staff has done its best to condition these guys as best they can with the short training camp and the lack of practice time. They must have done something right, because you're right. There really haven't been any late game lulls like maybe we've seen in the past. So I agree, that's very impressive.
Ducks obviously are set for a 6-game, 12-day road trip. And where do you see how do you think they will fare? There's some tough stops on this trip. Detroit, Chicago, Nashville. How important is this trip at this stage of the year? And what is this going to say about this team, 2 weeks from now?
Well, I think it's obviously important. I mean, any stretch of 6 games in a 48-game season is important. The nice thing is the Ducks set them up for this trip by going 3-0 on this homestand just completed. So maybe they bought themselves a little bit of a cushion. Having said that, you want to shoot for 500 trip. I mean, that's the basic goal when you go on the road, is at least play 500. It won't be easy because, as you said, Eric, there are some tough stops. 3 games and 4 nights to start. And you're looking at teams that are going to play. St. Louis and Chicago are both off to great starts. Colorado's been real tough at home until finally losing last night. So it's not going to be easy. I expect more tight games, and we'll see how that stick-to-itiveness and that resolve goes forward.
Lastly, Victor Faust, in his first 3 NHL starts, has proven to be terrific thus far. What is it about his game that you like, and I mean, could he be pushing Jonas Hiller for playing time upcoming here?
Well, I don't see how he can't be pushing Jonas Hiller. I don't think Jonas is up to his top form yet, and Victor Faust, if he's not at his top form, I'd like to see what that is. He's been tremendous. I mean, he gave up 1 bad goal in his second start, and otherwise, he's just been great. That poke check on Patrick Marleau last night just continues to stick in my mind. I mean, what a play. You don't expect to see a breakaway when you've got a 2-man advantage. Lo and behold, here comes Patrick Marleau, only the top goal scorer in the league, with tons of speed, tons of skill. And rather than letting Patrick Marleau dictate what was going to happen, Victor Faust went out with what he called an old-time poke check, and it was pretty impressive.
His experience obviously in Sweden is seeming to be showing through. He looks like he plays a mature, composed game in net. Yeah,
he does, and I've seen some people refer to him as a rookie, which technically he's not, because he's too old to be considered for the Calder Trophy as Rookie of the Year. It's his first season in the NHL, but I think, Eric, you're right. All that experience that he gained playing in Sweden, being the Swedish goaltender of the year 2 years running, this is no kid. He knows what he's doing, and he's not intimidated by the surroundings. And great for the Ducks. They've had good goaltending, 1A and 1B, as we've heard in the past. They've had that for a lot of years, and it would appear they do again.
No updates.
Will he go on the trip at all?
He's not starting off on the trip, which doesn't mean he's not going to be on the trip, because I think we're there for 3 or 4 months. We're all getting apartments on the road. So to say he's not coming on wouldn't be the right thing.